Hello, fellow pirates, and welcome back to Dreadlock Gaming. Last video I mentioned doing a video for the Sloop. Well, here it is. Today I'm going to talk about what I consider a phenomenal powerhouse of a little ship. This little ship packs a punch, and I'm not exaggerating. In my opinion, this is probably the best little all-around ship there is. It can take on damn near anything. It's great for PvE. It's great for PvP. I'm going to show you it in action in a defense, a level 10 defense. Now, let's get to the ship. Let's take a look at why we're using the Sloop. It is a small ship. Specializes in dealing damage and status effects. DPS favors an aggressive playstyle. Outburst. Explosive hits have a 50% chance of triggering an explosion, which deals 1,500 damage within a blast radius of 150 meters. That is phenomenal. It also has increased damage to structures by 40% and explosive damage by 15%. Increased explosive damage by 15%. That's great. Ruin. This is where it comes in handy versus enemy ships and players if you use it in PvP. Explosive damage hits decrease enemy weapons damage by 10%. You debuff them, causing everything that they throw at you to do 10% less damage. Heavy arsenal. Able to equip front weapons, auxiliary weapons, and unlocks rear gun port. Increases damage and repair amounts by 50% of broadside weapons. So, your port and starboard weapons are going to do 50% more damage. Now, let's take a look at what we're using. Weapons. Fire Bombard 3s all the way around. Why Fire Bombard 3s? Well, they're a little bit more forgiving than the more powerful Dardanelles. If you miss, you got another one, or two more, depending on where you're shooting from, to fire again. Dardanelles are going to have higher damage, but they are a one-shot hit or miss. So, more forgiving. And the reason we're using the Fire Bombards is not just because they do fire damage, but they also do explosive damage, and their explosive damage is higher than the fire damage. The auxiliary, the Warhammer. Warhammer, explosive and fire damage. So, it's great. Explosive 2, fire 1. We want both of those on this build, because we are going to utilize the fire damage as well. Now, let's take a look at the armor. I'm using the Black Prince. You could use the Buccaneer's Oath and get that 25% more damage and 25% more armor. I like the Black Prince. That, and I don't currently have another Buccaneer's Oath to throw on here without tearing another ship apart. So with the Black Prince, I am also using the rigging station. Increase survivability whenever you get low health. If you use the Buccaneer's Oath, you could go with the Scrapper Station. So whenever you do a crew attack, you heal. Or you could go with the Megaphone, which for consecutive hits increases your reload speed by up to 15% for 10 seconds. Now, then we're going to go with Bombard Minosaur. 10% more bombard damage. Bombards are our main weapon. We want as much damage as we can with those. Bombard works. That's 19% more elemental damage. Elemental includes both fire and explosive. Campanier Spirit Lockers. Damage mitigation. So, less stamina depletion to start a bracing whenever you're under a status effect. 15% damage mitigation. After tonight's update, that's going to be 15% brace strength instead of damage mitigation. Plus 7% more armor means less damage. Campanier screens. 15% less area of effect damage from enemies. Also reduces incoming burning damage and 3% more health. And then Gunpowder Bench increases damage to enemy ships with the ablaze effect by 10%. So whenever we set them on fire with any of our weapons, it's 10% more damage that they're going to take when they're ablaze. And this thing packs a punch. I've fought many fights in PvE, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, and won 99% of them. Because this thing is just a powerhouse, and it has pretty good survivability, especially with the two defensive furnitures on it. And running Black Prince rigging station, if you're running PvP, that's kind of the go-to for a PvP build. If you're fighting somebody who has the Black Prince rigging station and you don't, chances are you are not going to win if they know how to use the Black Prince rigging station combination. Now, let's go put this thing to the test so I can show you what it does. You got 4 minutes to get over there. That's plenty of time. You can use whatever food you want for whatever activity you're doing. Some foods are going to be better for other activities than others. I'm going to avoid these ships that I would normally kill for their glass, because I want to go over here and do this defense and show you all what this little thing can do. The Sloop, when built properly, is a powerhouse. It dishes out a lot of damage. It can take a significant amount of damage. I would put the amount of damage that it can dish out when built right up there near the amount of damage that the Sandbook can put out. Not to that point, but close. And if you use this ship for PvP, one nice thing about small ships: smaller target, smaller weak points, harder to hit. Go ahead and activate that. So as soon as we get there, it starts. All right, we got 5 seconds. Wave 1. Here they come. Little French ships. See that? The explosive damage reaches out to other ships. Having that chain reaction perk on there is awesome. This thing works great for defenses. It works great for hostile takeovers. Whenever you're having to fight somebody or you're having to fight NPC ships. If you build it right for PvP, it's great for both. That chain reaction. Hit one. It's anything within 150 meter radius has a 50% to take damage as well. I love this little ship. It's probably my favorite ship in the game currently. All right, we're getting ready to start wave 4. See that chain reaction? Love that. Ooh, that's a bunch of ships. See all of that chain reaction? That's one thing that makes this ship so good. Wave 5. Last wave. What is that ship doing? I don't think it can make up its mind. And there you go. Defense is done. This ship is phenomenal. I use it for so much. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Thanks for watching Dreadlight Gaming. Keep an eye out for more Skull and Bones videos soon. Hit that like and subscribe. Also check out Banished Souls Official on YouTube. Come join us in Banished Souls Discord. Links are below. And remember, never give up the ship.